Guys, today is Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Like I said yesterday, today we are on a fresh account. If you haven't watched yesterday's video, I did blow my account yesterday, which is always super fun. Um, but the thing is, I know what I did wrong and I know how to fix it. It's just a matter of whether or not I'm willing to grab myself by the balls and actually follow my rules and focus. Don't be lazy and don't think that everything's just going to be handed to me and don't think I'm just going to get lucky. And honestly, that's how I've been somewhat looking at the markets, pretty inconsistent. But you know, we're back, and so going into today, I was watching last night. Um, this was what I was targeting yesterday, and I definitely was wrong on that. Um, because of all time highs, and I saw overnight we pumped up and kind of consolidated. We left a big wick at the top here. What are you doing, crazy cat? We left a big wick at the top here, and then kind of consolidated on the 4 hour, and then I saw we were leaving this kind of like trend line right here when I hopped on the charts this morning. This was something that I wanted, so I came into the day pretty bullish. I was definitely bullish, but I told myself, okay, if we inverse this 1 hour and kind of blow through 50%, which is right here. So this level right here is the 50% of the entire range. If we draw, like, I'll just draw it out for you. We draw it out from the start of the leg here all the way up. Boom, 50% right there. So I told myself, well, I want logs, but if this gets inversed and we show signs of bearish confluence, I will anticipate there being some sort of a sell setup. And watching ES, they were a little bit lagged. It was a little bit lagged behind for a bit, but then, sorry, my cat's distracting me. But then on ES, as you can see, we tapped into this 50-minute, this last 15-minute here, and on NQ, this last 15-minute here, both broken through. So extremely bearish, or sorry, not that 15-minute, this 15-minute right here, and this 15-minute right here. I had them marked out earlier, but I don't anymore. And then, but before that happened, there was some pretty bullish confluence for me. I know some other people took this long as well. It looked super A plus. I mean, we had a higher time frame sweep here. We had a lower time frame resweep here. And I think this also might have been an SMT. Or shoot, my fault. And we had a really, really good momentum through this 1 minute here. And this was my first trade. It was a break-even trade. But my fill, sorry, I was risking like about 15 points or something. My fill was okay. It was a little bit above, but when we hit break even, almost instantly we flipped and started bearish again. So I wasn't really in a rush to go break even, and that kind of screwed me here because I ended up exiting my position maybe like here, maybe like 7-8 points in with 2 minis, and that's still like, it was still almost $300. Bro, look at this cat. I can't. He's just laying on me, on my arm. But so I was down almost $300 on a break-even trade, which was annoying. But I wasn't too worried about it because I don't know. I just felt good today. I felt confident. And like I said yesterday, today I woke up at 6, went to shower immediately. Woke myself up, did 50 push-ups, and I was on the charts. Really engaged today. I think that's something I've been missing is like being fully engaged on the charts. Not just like not fiending over them, but just being present and being fully cognizant of what's happening. I think is something that I was lacking for a little bit there. But anyway, we bounced out of first presented insanely well. I wanted to try a short here, but it was break even, and then from here I was just waiting for a long. I was like, okay, well we had another resweep. We're still holding, we were still holding this 4-hour here, and we were holding a 1-hour order block. I was like, well, basically anything could happen if we get like really, really strong upwards momentum. I could definitely see longs working here. I mean, we have higher time frame, sort of like trend line stuff right here. Even though there's an SMT and Q still had it. And then also for shorts, like, well, we're developing trend line here. We could just go take this out and have a huge push to the lower sides. But what we did was we just kind of like stayed barcodey around here. I was going to take a long originally right here, but it never got inversed. And then once we got to like here, I was like, okay, well, this is just too far. This isn't even really like any sort of an order block that I would be willing to trust. So it's like I just disregarded that setup altogether. And then we started meandering lower, and then we finally got to the 50% of the range, as well as ES. Where's the... Yeah, so we both ES and NQ tapped into 50% of the range. I was like, okay, are we going to hold this, or are we going to long or break through it? And we broke through it decently. So I wanted to actually, going into my winning trade, I was targeting the 50%. Whether or not we were going to hold it, I knew the 50% was the target for sure, especially because NQ hadn't tapped it yet, whilst ES had. So there was that. I went, what did I do? Oh yeah, 30-second. Boom. We had a little 30-second inversion right here. I entered right here, and it was almost immediate break even, which is what I wanted. So it didn't even really matter that it was so close because we had so much momentum, and the 50% was so close. I mean, it was only a 10-point win. So I had a relatively tight stop loss, and it was really just a continuation, like little momentum trade. So that put me up, and then also this is where I got kind of weak. I saw this 30-second here, and this was an A+ setup. I mean, we were bouncing out. This is a 5-minute. We were bouncing out of a 5-minute. We had swept all major sell side. We were in discount of the entire range, and now we kind of need to retrace in the opposite direction and maybe hit some unmitigated gaps, whatever it may be. So we had left equal highs right here, perfect equal highs, and we had a 5-minute in the same exact spot, unmitigated. As you can see right here, this 5-minute, boom. I'll draw it out for you. I called this one out in my Discord, and it ended up playing out really nicely. This is the 5-minute right here. Um, if you want to join my Discord, there's a link in my bio. It's free. I'm really just in there every morning. Um, it's a new thing. There's not very many people in it right now. So if you want to join, it's free, and I'm in there every morning, active. I'm talking with my members. Not necessarily giving signals or anything like that, but just like talking about what I'm thinking, um, and bias and stuff like that. But anyway, back to this trade. I took this 30-second here, and on this candle, I got really fucking scared because I was like, like I already took my technically one trade of the day, plus a win, and then I tried to take a second trade, and this is where I kind of let my mind slip. I was like, all of these confluences were perfect though. Like this trade was actually A plus. This was a really, really nice trade. Probably one of the best trades I've taken recently. Despite that, I lost my gonads to this drawdown, and I moved my sell limit from here to here because I knew I just wanted to be out. I didn't want to be in it anymore. I just wanted to not deal with any sort of mental shit. But that was a mistake. And what I realized is like if I have confluence and if I'm actively engaged in the market and I'm reading price and I feel confident in something enough to take a trade, it shouldn't, like, one, if I entered the trade out of FOMO or just hoping to get lucky, then if the trade doesn't play out, then I deserve to lose. I just should take the loss, shut the fuck up. It was my fault. But on plays like this, where I was so actively engaged and I was reading the market really well, and I don't know, just completely present, and I saw this setup and it was almost light bulb to me, yet despite how light bulb it was, I still closed myself out early and lost. Like, this would have been over $1,000 on two minis, 20 points. Or close to it. Combined with my previous win, we would have been over $1,000 on the day, and just because I got scared of fucking up my P&L and taking going back into the red, and that's part of it, but at the same time, you should definitely work. I should definitely work on getting that out of being part of it. Like, I'm established enough in this space to take A plus setups, and I know when they're A plus. This was an A plus setup, in my opinion. I mean, if we go to the higher time frame, I took it around here. We were tapped into this 5-minute. There was one more sell side objective, but all major sell side objectives were taken already. Plus, we can't just dump. I mean, we could. It's happened. But realistically, just full out dumping all this way with no retrace to anything is just so, like, crazy. And like you can see, we just now inverse this 15-minute right here. And this was also what it retraced to earlier. Despite the 5-minute right here, the 5-minute got inverse, but we were still in a 15-minute, so we were still held in bearish order flow, but we were retracing in order to create continuations. But yeah, I mean, this is just super clean setup. I really like this equal highs and an unmitigated 5-minute. Super light bulb, tapped in the 5-minute. Fair value gap to the left, as well as swept a low right here. There's an order block right here, I guess, if you want to count it. Like, this was just a good trade. You just have to trust me. This was a good trade. And I pulled myself out of it early, and I deeply regret it. And it's just one of those learning moments. I know I'm yapping a lot, but it's just one of those learning moments that you're going to go through if you haven't already, and you might even go through it again. I might even go through it again. But it's one of those things where you just have to, like, what I did wrong here was I didn't trust my model. I didn't trust my data. Got an A plus setup, super A plus setup that I was patient for, and everything was aligned. And I took the setup, and then I closed myself out early because I was in drawdown for literally 1 minute, almost 2 minutes. And I don't know. I still struggle with drawdown. That's definitely an issue, but I should just trust the model. And that's the point I'm trying to get across is if you have a model and you have data on yourself and you know what setups work this percentage amount of the time, if you take each perfect setup, I mean, yes, you have to have narrative. You can't just trade patterns because that's going to have a completely different statistic. But this, if you have narrative and you're following the market attentively, you have a strong conviction and you trust your model, you need to just trust these setups. And that's what I didn't do today, and I lost my the potential to have, half of the account passed in one day. But it is what it is. I'm not mad about it. I'm just disappointed in myself, and I know I could do better. And that's what we're all here for, is just to get better. So that's what I'm going to keep trying to do. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm going to make more mistakes. I'm probably going to make mistakes tomorrow. I'm probably going to make mistakes next week, next month. But the thing is, when you do make those mistakes, note them objectively and do your absolute best to fix them, to never make them again. And that's what the whole trading game is about. Eliminating mistakes and trusting your model, trusting your data. That's what it is. Just beating your own mind. And that's really what kind of game I'm playing now. I can read price. I can trade. I know I can trade. Can I beat myself? Can I beat myself? Can I beat my own mind and prove to myself that, I should trust what I've been working for? But yeah, other than that, though, sorry I was yapping a little bit, but other than that, that was really pretty much the day. I mean, we still have this low resistance liquidity up here. I'd be interested to see if tomorrow this is something we could aim for. Tomorrow we have some red folder at 10, so likely I'll be waiting until 10 unless there's something super light bulb before 10, but I doubt it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, I did make a new Instagram and I made a brand new Discord server. It's completely free. You can follow or join either of those. On my Instagram, I just post things that I like. Yes, it's trading related, it's life related, it has deeper thoughts, deeper meanings, but also it's just kind of a new Instagram that I am using to express myself and also just document my journey. I post P&Ls on there sometimes, and yeah, in the Discord, join up. It's completely free. I think we have one member in there, and me and him were chopping it up this morning, so super fun. Looking forward to getting some more people in there and starting to build, the little community that I've been thinking about. So anyways, guys, that's enough yapping. Sorry, this was a little bit longer of a video, I think. I don't really have a timer. But, yeah. Stay safe. I hope you had a good one. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.